Edg Plus is not just for those looking to heal their bodies. Take charge of your health with the new Edg Plus. It comes in an easy-to-use sachet and sweet passion fruit flavor. Your body will thank you.
Okay.
Dr. Selvam, can we take questions now? We have
Yes,
quite a
please.
bit of questions.
Okay.
Yeah. So here, Linda is asking, Doctor, what about K2 and magnesium? Because from literature, D3 works best in combination with K2 and magnesium.
Yes, because magnesium is necessary to activate your vitamin D3. Most of us can be deficient. So if you want to take magnesium and K2 to protect your cardiovascular health, your blood vessel health, and also your bone health, please go ahead. But it is when you put too many ingredients in a formulation, then it's very difficult to keep up with the dose of individual ingredients. So we have already made it very powerful. Maybe in future we can look at it to make it even more powerful. But can you take magnesium and K2? Please go ahead. Can you take vitamin C on top of H? Please go ahead. These are all very beneficial supplements. And this is why you can see many of the time when you ask me questions about health, although I should just limit my answers to H, often I give you additional tips about how to help you and your friends, your family, your patients. But of course, when you ask me a very complicated case, I said I can't discuss because it's not possible to help you or anybody over the WhatsApp. But you can certainly take these supplements.
Okay. Thank you, Doctor. Linda also says that the absorption of D3 in Edge Plus, I would like to know because currently mostly D3 supplements are infused with MCT for better absorption, since D3 is fat soluble.
The vitamin, the cholecalciferol that we have put it in H plus is 87 times better absorbed than the common one. So there is no problem about D3 absorption that you find in H plus.
Thank you. Mohammed Munir says an hepatocellular carcinoma patient with active peptic ulcer, can he benefit from using Edg3 plus? If so, what is the duration of the use? What is the prognosis if the patient is compliant?
From the benefits, from the science behind H plus and what we know it can do, it will definitely be helpful for cancer patients and even those with peptic ulcer taking H. Because as I said, cancer originates from your mitochondria being dysfunctional, and then you have less energy. That is the origin of cancer. And there is good scientific evidence to prove this. So how does H benefit? Directly by increasing mitochondrial health and energy production, and thereby also improving your immune system. So will it benefit hepatocellular cancer or any other cancer? Of course it will. He asked me whether I will say H cures cancer. I won't comment because it is not good. Because cancer is not just one single factor. It's a multifactorial disease. So if a patient really wants to fight cancer, it is the entire spectrum of good health. So all the pillars must be addressed. Your diet, your lifestyle, sun exposure, sleep, stress management, it must be addressed. And whether you have enough vitamin C. But H for cancer is a beautiful supplement, both for prevention and for treatment.
Thank you, Doctor. This question is from Asha. She says for women coming into pre-menopause and menopause have a lot of issues which causes lifelong punishment for most women. Can you explain what causes it and how Edg3 Plus can help?
That's a very long question, and the answer is it's not just straightforward answer. If you ask me whether H plus is beneficial for women, yes, just like men, especially if you are in the pre or perimenopausal or post-menopausal. But so as a general supplement, especially to produce enough energy, Edg is wonderful. Okay, because as you age, you don't produce enough energy, and without Edg and glutathione, your ability to produce energy will not be good, especially in the post-COVID world. But I don't agree with you if you say menopause is a lifelong punishment. No, it is because you have to handle menopause. The menopausal problem is a hormonal problem, which I can't explain here. So if you balance your hormones and bring it up to more youthful level, menopause should not be a problem. Losing menses is not a problem. Losing your hormones with that is the problem. But Edg is a phenomenally powerful supplement. Okay.
Thank you, Doctor. Another question from Swarna. She is asking, can Edg3 help in conditions like eczema or atopic dermatitis?
Dermatitis. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it improves your immune system and it also improves the inflammation, it reduces inflammation. So it will help. But there is another reason how it helps. I told you just now about gastritis when Cherian presented the video. It helps to improve your gut health and thereby reduces the risk of fungus in the gut. Eczema on the skin is fungal overgrowth in your gut, but that's a different topic. Okay, but can it help? Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Sainab. Follow me is asking, how can Edg3 help in vertigo?
Not directly, but vertigo is because your ability to produce energy in your inner ear is reduced. Why is that reduced? Because you are lacking sunlight. So I told you there are three sources of energy. One is the cosmic energy, solar energy, your cellular energy. So taking any supplement that increases the energy production, you will have a balance. So you can certainly try and see if it improves. But going out and getting the early morning sun and some UV will also be helpful. And
Thank you, Doctor.
The dark pigment you have on your skin, which is called melanin, it does not protect you from UV light. It absorbs UV light. And that pigment is in your ear. When you don't get sun exposure, that pigment is not healthy. That's why you get vertigo. But another one is you should take magnesium. Okay.
Thank you, Doctor. Edna is asking, can Edg3 help in the condition of malignant brain cells? How about someone whose blood levels keep dropping?
Malignancy is what I spoke about cancer. If you want to address cancer, address sugar, address the amount of carbohydrates you take, address your lifestyle in terms of when you sleep, how much sunlight you get, whether you exercise, and whether it's malignant brain cells or malignant liver cells, it's still energy production. So you need to address all these together. And dropping blood levels can be many, many reasons. You can have heavy menses, you can have blood loss. You have to find out where is the blood loss, if any. And you can have a very acidic body. Very simple. Do a urine full strip test and look at the pH. If your urine pH is 7.2 to 8, you're alkaline. If it is less than 7.2, you're acidic. Eat more vegetables.
Thank you. Dr. Jacqueline is asking, how can Edg3 help with autoimmune condition like lichen planus?
Okay. All autoimmune conditions is because your immune system is overactive. So there is a term called immune system homeostasis or immune balancing. That means it is modulation. So in a body where immune system is low, if you increase the energy production with H+, the immune system will get stronger. In a body where immune system is overactive, it will bring it down. That means it will calm your immune system. And this is how H plus works in autoimmune diseases. If you want to help somebody with autoimmune diseases, stop taking gluten.
Okay, thank you, Doctor.
And autoimmune diseases has a strong association with vitamin D3 deficiency. Although the amount we put in H plus seem to be lower than what is generally recommended, but it's a fat soluble vitamin. So it gets stored in your body. If you keep taking it, you will get to good level.
Thank you, Doctor. Laila is asking, can Edg3 help with autism?
Autism is, well, if you want me to go into, yeah, anyway, I might get into trouble. This is politics. But then if you look at autism, the curve or the incidence of autism, it parallels with children's vaccination. If you look at the curve of autism rising, it comes with refined foods and fast foods and gluten. And it also comes with lack of sun exposure. So you have to address all these things. But remember, when we improve the immune system in the body, especially the immune cells in the brain, and there is a cell in the brain called glial cells, it's part of the brain's immune system. When you improve the health of that, then it improves autism. So if you ask me, can H plus can be beneficial or given to autistic children, please go. But address the other issues. Stop taking sugar, gluten, and dairy. Stop feeding your children. You are feeding poison for you also.
Thank you, Dr. Abdul Hadi Abu Abdul Qadir says that, Doctor, very good and educative presentation. Thank you so much. Okay, and Kabira Timson says for kidney transplant patients, they are told not to use immune booster, only suppressant. Can they actually use Edg3 plus?
Okay. You don't want a rejection. So we suppress the immune system. But can your H plus work in such a way as to strengthen your immune system to reject the kidney transplant? I don't think so. If I understand how glutathione works in your body, I don't think it is a problem. But if you ask me whether I have any scientific proof to show that kidney transplant patients taking HN has no problem, I don't think so. But if you ask me, from my understanding of how H works, scientifically, it should not be a problem because you are only stimulating your immune system to protect yourself. You are not overstimulating, which pushes you into autoimmune disease.
Thank you, Doctor.
If you take immunosuppressants, you are going to be prone for infections.
Thank you. Tito is asking, can Edg3 plus help a patient with SLE?
It's an autoimmune disease. As I mentioned, all autoimmune diseases will benefit from glutathione and vitamin D3. And by reducing the inflammation from tumacin, you also help autoimmune diseases. So whether it's lichen planus, whether it is thyroiditis or SLE, you will still benefit.
Dr. Murjanatu is asking, what is a healing crisis and how can Edg3 plus help in healing crisis?
Okay. Well, actually, I don't call it a crisis because when you are healing somebody, we shouldn't be getting into crisis. I call it healing reaction. So what is a healing reaction? If you give H to someone who's loaded with a lot of toxins or heavy metals, for example, or if you have a lot of silent virus inside. Remember, this is very good to understand. Now, I told you just now, virus is not a problem. Bacteria is not a problem. Fungus is not a problem, because I practiced during COVID and I treated hundreds of very bad COVID patients without wearing mask. And I didn't get sick, because it is this body's immune system that's going to protect you, not anything that you go and put it into your body in the form of drugs or vaccines. I don't believe, because I'm a very good example myself. So if you have a strong immune system, all this should not be a problem. Yeah. So the terrain is more important than the pathogen itself.
Thank you, Dr. Chioma is asking, how can Edg3 Plus help someone who had stroke and went into coma?
Sorry, the answer was not complete. So when you have these viruses, most of us have these viruses lying dormant. Have you noticed someone who undergoes a lot of stress and then they get these shingles?
Yes.
Why do you get it? Where did the shingle come from? Because when you're under stress, your immune system goes down, and the viruses that are sleeping, we call it dormant viruses, they just come back to life. And think about this. When we die, okay, like for example, when you see a dead body, there are maggots in the dead body. It's not because of flies sitting on the body. Even if you cover, you still get maggots. Where do the maggots come from? It is already in your system, but they lie there quietly hibernating. As long as you're healthy, they stay in the same state. The moment you become less healthy, they grow up, they germinate. That's why you get problems. So when H plus kills these viruses that are sleeping, you get a healing reaction. So what do you do when you get a healing reaction, or somebody says, I'm getting headache, I feel flu, I feel like getting a flu? Actually, it's not a side effect. First thing you must reassure them is there are no known side effects from H. There are no known drug interactions. So patients who are taking medications, they can take. And the healing crisis is because your body is trying to heal itself. So what do you do? If the healing reaction is severe, you stop for a few days. But usually that's not necessary. What you need to do is reduce to half session. You can stop and then start with half session until they feel comfortable, then take one session. And during the healing reaction, please drink a lot of water and eat a lot of vegetables or even vegetable juice to alkalize your body. Then you detox faster. Okay, Cherry.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Doctor. Chioma is asking, somebody had stroke and went into coma, came out of it, and is bedridden for 3 years now. Still can't stand or feed himself. How can Edg3 Plus help?
I can't promise you that this patient is going to start walking, but as a general supplement, it will be beneficial. And vitamin D3 is important for muscle strength. So the muscle wasting and loss of muscle strength in aging people is because of vitamin D deficiency. And people who are bedridden, they don't go out, they don't exercise, they don't sweat, they don't get into the sun. So the immune system will be weak and the energy will be very weak. So it will be helpful. But he asked me whether stroke will be reversed. I don't think so.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. Margaret Tully from Ghana is asking, Doctor, why the sugar level increase initially when you start taking H3 plus before it's now reduces? This alarms some clients.
Okay, I mentioned to you this one. There are two types of patients you will see, diabetic patients. One will see a progressive, slow but progressive decline in age. There is another group of patients, temporarily the sugar can go a bit higher, not very high. It is because the insulin is trying to normalize itself from being insulin resistant to insulin sensitivity. So when the insulin sensitivity improves, this is a temporary problem. But there is also another issue. You must be very careful when you handle these patients. Because when H gives you energy, what improved energy does to you? Your appetite will increase. So please make sure their diet remains the same or it has improved. You have to find that out. So when you're sick, why is your appetite poor? Because your body is conserving the energy for you to survive, not to digest your food. So automatically your body will reject food. So when you have more energy, increase in appetite, sometimes some patients may start eating more. But
Doctor,
yeah, sorry.
yeah, a related question: can Edg3 Plus work against diabetes?
You mean for diabetic people?
Yes.
It's a wonderful supplement in many ways, for many reasons. One, diabetic patients are severely energy deficient. Number two, diabetic patients have a lot of chronic inflammation. And this is the reason why they have so much of complications in diabetes: heart disease, kidney disease, eye problems, nerve problems, circulation problems, immune system problems, a lot. So if you look at age from the energy production point of view, from the inflammation point of view, from insulin resistance point of view, it is a wonderful supplement.
Okay, Doctor, this is Jane Nejeru. She is asking, can Edge3 Plus help autoimmune disease related to lung disease?
All autoimmune diseases, the reason is because overactive immune system. So you just have to make sure it is balanced. And glutathione is very good in this.
Okay. Esther Emeka is asking, how does Edge3 benefit patients undergoing fertility treatments, especially those with poor or reduced ovarian reserve?
It's not going to be benefiting you directly, but if you look at reduced ovarian reserve, whether it is because of PCOS or polycystic ovarian syndrome, and now this problem is getting, unfortunately, common post-COVID. Boys and men, their sperm quality and count has reduced by 80%. That's what I see in my practice. I just treated a 27-year-old young male with severe testosterone deficiency, which a hormone, that male hormone that comes from the testis, and his testosterone level is only 30%. So do I see couples who can't conceive? Yes, because your ovaries and testes can be affected in this COVID world, post-COVID world. So if you want to heal, anything you want to heal in your body, you have to increase energy, because energy is fundamental for health and healing and reversing disease and preventing disease. And it also reduces inflammation, which is a very common factor in polycystic ovarian syndrome. But if it is because you're eating too much of carbs and you have high blood sugar or high insulin, that causes polycystic ovarian syndrome. And that can also reduce your ovarian reserve. But then, of course, there are investigations like AMF, anti-Mullerian factor. You can check, but there is no easy solution to reduced ovarian reserve. But remember this, your body and my body is capable of repairing itself, but you still have to make every condition right for the body. If anybody is interested, they can get in touch for where I can just tell you how to heal or reduce the effects of this COVID problem and how to increase the ovarian reserve. Of course, depends on the age. If you are younger, it's easier.
Dr. Koni is asking, can Edge3 Plus help with Hirschsprung's disease? Hirschsprung's disease.
Not directly, because it is a problem where I believe the lower part of the gut is not fully developed. This is a problem that is there at birth. So it's not directly, but overall as a general supplement, it will be helpful.
Thank you. Somebody is asking, I have stroke with the dizziness. How can Edge3 Plus help me? Also, how can Edge3 Plus help nervous illness?
Stroke is not an easy problem to solve. The sooner you address the stroke problem, the better it is. But definitely it will make the patient feel better. They'll have more energy to try and move and be mobile and maybe even do some exercise. As a general supplement, it is beneficial. Now, dizziness, there are many reasons. One of that is the amount of energy you have in your inner ear cells, and maybe H will help indirectly through from that. But then if you are generally feeling unwell, there can be a lot of other reasons. Sometimes you will have to look at the amount of medications you are taking. If something has started after you started treating yourself with drugs, then you should question whether it is the drug also. But if you want to detoxify your drugs, the one you're taking, nothing is better than H, because H clears the drugs from your liver, through your liver.
Dr. Akhila Somarajan is asking an 80-year-old lady taking Edge from 2 months, asking why she can't take it for 7 days, as she feels energy low those 2 days break.
Please go ahead and take, because we feel that with this Jumacin and D3, because of the added benefits, is 5 days is sufficient for most of us. However, everybody is different. If stopping for 2 days makes you become energy deficient, that is a clear indication that you need to optimize your energy every day. So maybe she is the type who requires a lot more energy. Maybe her energy reserve is already very low.
Dr. Khan is asking how long a common person can take Edge3 Plus, and is there any side effect?
There are no known side effects. Edge is all natural, safe, even in children, pregnant women, and breastfeeding mothers. There are no contraindications with any drugs. There are no known drug interactions. So it is safe, anybody can take.
Can Edge3 Plus help fight kidney stone and people affected by sickle cell issues?
The sickle cell has been asked many times in the group, but anyway, since we are here, it does not help sickle cell disease directly, but it helps the red blood cells in this patient to carry more oxygen. So that's how it helps. Kidney stone is not directly because of H, but H deficiency, glutathione deficiency, but it's because your body is acidic, or if you're low in vitamin D3, H has got D3, and you may be low in magnesium and K2. So those things need to be addressed, but alkalize your body. And I always say this, if you look at anybody from birth till the last breath, your life depends on the amount of energy you produce. Your health and longevity depends on the amount of energy you produce. Where do you produce energy within your body? In your mitochondria.
Doctor, here there is a question. Does Edge3 Plus help in atypical Parkinson?
Okay, the way we address Parkinson's issue is there is a place in the brain called substantia nigra. So the word nigra means black. Okay, substantia means it means substantial amount of black pigment. That is the pigment that you get in skin. So when that pigment is less, the energy production in this part of the brain is less. So we have treatments where we increase energy production with intravenous drips. And when we give, the patient will start walking better, and the tremor and the rigidity will be less immediately. That is the power of energy in Parkinson's patient. And why do I strongly say this is because if you take a muscle cell, you get about 500 of this chip mitochondria in each cell. If you take the heart cells, it has about 10,000. Substantia nigra can have up to 1 million mitochondria in the cells. So it is so energy dependent part of the brain. So when that energy deficiency happens in that part of the brain, you get Parkinson's disease, besides, of course, heavy metals and toxicity. So can H helps in Parkinson's? Certainly from energy point of view.
Doctor, does Edg3 Plus help a person with Pomfolix eczema?
I'm not sure what it means, but eczema, as I explained to Swarna just now, it is a gut problem and an immune system problem. So maybe it's just a different variations of eczema, but the underlying cause will still be immune system weakness and gut problem, both of which can be helped by age.
How can Edge help on severe deep infiltrating endometriosis? Cheka Rahman.
Endometriosis is a problem of excess estrogen, female hormone, and a deficiency in progesterone. It is not easy to discuss here in this forum. So if you want to look at a supplement, general supplement, good general supplement for health and vitality and longevity, certainly H. And in this situation, H can help because it can help to detoxify and remove the excess estrogen from your through your liver. So in that way, it can help indirectly. But it's a problem where you got to balance your female hormones.
Okay, Dr. Dona Sachini is asking, I do not understand about how Edge Plus works to increase calcium in our body and strengthen joints. Can you explain?
Not H directly, but if you have vitamin D3, that helps in the calcium absorption, and thereby your bone health will be improved, bone and joint health.
Monica is asking, can I take H3 with chronic medicine?
Of course, I mentioned to you, and I repeated this. You can take H with any medications. You can take, no problem. There are no known drug interactions, no contraindications. On the contrary, you will have better health because H will help you to detoxify the drugs.
Theodora is asking, Doctor, how helpful is H3 Plus to a patient who is already on dialysis?
Dialysis is a condition where there is a serious deficiency in the amount of energy production in your kidney cells. Please go ahead and advise the patient to take.
Another question is, how does it help patients with the dementia and depression?
Dementia is a serious form of memory loss, and brain consumes 20% of your oxygen, a small organ, but it consumes a lot of oxygen. Why? Because it needs so much of energy. So when you are energy deficient, it leads to memory problems, mental fog, and brain fog, and dementia, Parkinson's, and Alzheimer's. So can age help? Yes.
Doctor, if one does fasting as you recommended, should we still take H3 Plus while fasting? Asha and Swarna again.
On the day of fasting, if you all are fasting once a week, 24 hours, you will definitely be healthier than people who don't fast. But the day you fast, rest your body. You don't have to take H or any supplements on that day.
Dr. Rogers is asking, can you comment on H3 impact on cancer patients?
I mentioned to you whether it's a hepatocellular cancer or malignant brain cells cancer, any cancer. Why do you get cancer? Primarily from mitochondrial dysfunction. And that means the mitochondria is not producing enough energy. So energy deficiency leads to cancer. Of course, if you eat a lot of sugar, you eat a lot of high carb diet, you have a lot of toxins, heavy metals, it can also cause. But primarily, you need to increase your energy to deal with cancer. And you need to increase your energy to boost your immune system to deal with cancer. You need to increase your glutathione levels to improve your detoxification and reduce inflammation to deal with cancer. Any type of cancer.
Dr. Idris is asking, what is the safety profile of H3 Plus in patients with a history of recurrent first trimester miscarriages?
Anybody who has recurrent first trimester miscarriage, it's not in this forum, but I can tell you because this is a very stressful time for the couple. Number one cause, low thyroid hormone. Please go and check. Number two, low progesterone, female hormone. Please go and check. These two are the main causes. Can age help these patients? Absolutely yes. Because if you are energy deficient, you will not keep the pregnancy. So that is the other reason. So low thyroid, low energy production, and low progesterone.
Dr. Collins is asking, how does Edg3 Plus shrink fibroid mass and how effective is it for fibroid?
Not directly, but there can be an associated inflammation when you have fibroid. But fibroid is too much of estrogen, too little progesterone. Again, the same thing. So H will help indirectly by detoxification of this estrogen, not directly. So I don't want anybody to go and promise a person, a lady with fibroid, you take H and the H will shrink. But if you improve your overall health, your liver health, your detoxification, your estrogen levels will drop while they take care of all other factors, then it will help.
Thank you. Dr. Saleh Kirki is asking, can Edg3 Plus help people with prostate problem? Can it also hypertensive old men to get more libido and manpower?
Okay. Prostate problem is again excess estrogen, the female hormone in male. So I mentioned to you that it will help in the detoxification. And prostate problem is low testosterone. So you need to go and check. And libido is low testosterone. You need to check. But can age help with manlyhood or low libido? Because age has got a very important benefit because it improves energy. Once you have the ability to produce energy, it will also improve in the blood circulation because it reduces the inflammation in your vascular system. That means the inflammation in your blood vessels will be reduced. And whether it helps libido directly, you have to give it a try. But it is also a testosterone problem.
Doctor, can Edg3 Plus help a 1-year-old baby who was born underweight and is still small for his age? Amina Sayani is asking.
Generally, very young children is difficult to advise the dose. And so if you want to ask me, personally, what I'll do, if it is my child, I will give, but I'll just give a pinch. Because none of this is toxic to human body, even to 1-year-old child. Because glutathione is part of your body. At the time of conception, glutathione should be there in order for the pregnancy to complete itself. Turmeric extract traditionally has been used for centuries among many cultures. And D3 is something that we all should be making ourselves. So you just give a pinch.
Rahman Abdul Rahman is asking if he can Edg3 Plus help epileptic people?
Indirectly, yes, because epilepsy is an inflammation of the brain tissue, and epilepsy is a deficiency in magnesium. So if you want to help epileptic patients, you have to give them magnesium and give them the H+.
Thank you, Doctor. Kathy is asking, my son's nose bleeds very often. Can Edg3 Plus help?
Yes, because nosebleed, besides this chronic rhinitis problem, it is a problem of vitamin C deficiency. So you have to give the child vitamin C, but H will help your vitamin C to stay longer in your body. So they are good synergistic agents.
Thank you, Doctor. Mary Aniojo is asking, can an ulcer patient experience sore throat after taking Edg3 Plus?
Unlikely. Don't take and just lie down because if you get the reflux. you take it and just, maybe just walk around, don't straight away lie down. It won't cause any sore throat. Should not be.
Thank you. Thank you. Dr. Kabira is asking, can Edg3 Plus help in carpal tunnels?
Not directly. If it reduces inflammation, yes, but carpal tunnel syndrome is because of hypothyroidism.
Thank you, Doctor. Dr. Abu is asking, can Edg3 Plus help in erection?
The same thing that I mentioned about under manlyhood, erection is a combination of testosterone, blood flow, and the gas called nitric oxide. Testosterone actually improves nitric oxide levels also. So it is, it's not a single, there's not a single reason for this. And you have to address the excess female hormone and low testosterone. And you can increase the nitric oxide production by the simple yoga practice called humming. And take H as a general supplement. It does not increase the testosterone levels directly, but it can improve your testicular health and thereby may help to improve your testosterone.
Doctor, here there is one more question. Someone is about to go through prostate surgery. Can Edg3 Plus help to reduce it and stop the surgery? How can Edg3 Plus help someone with kidney problems? Atika Kuleta.
Prostate problem is estrogen excess and testosterone deficiency. Now, operating on an enlarged prostate, it will relieve your problem, but it still does not fix the root cause. This is where conventional medicine fails. And this is the reason why I practice medicine without drugs unless it's an emergency situation. Because I'm not helping in healing. If you want to heal, you have to fix the root cause. Say, for example, your patient has prostate surgery. Okay, maybe it will take a minute or two extra, but maybe this is the last question so I can spend some time. So this is very important for all of you to understand, and I'm giving this as a good example. So whether you have diabetes, where you take drugs to reduce the blood sugar level, you are happy because what you can measure improves, but you are not improving the root cause or the health. And this is why patients who take diabetic drugs and take 10 years and 20 years, and they still get into heart disease and kidney disease, eye problems, nerve problems, because drugs do not heal. You have to heal the body, which means you focus on the root cause. Any disease is the same. So when you talk about prostate, yes, you can have the surgery, but you are not treating the estrogen excess, which means there will be erection problem. And men can get breast cancer from estrogen excess, same as women. And what does testosterone deficiency do to you? You have increased risk of heart disease, increased risk of diabetes, increased risk of fractures, increased risk of disc prolapse, and so on. Muscle wasting, so many problems. So you leave the reasons, root cause in the body, and you are just doing something that is cosmetic. Well, if it is a serious problem, doing a surgery is going to help in that problem, go ahead. But you still have to fix the root cause. So if somebody talks to you about how to improve the health, general health, how do I prevent disease? How do I treat a disease? How do I extend my health span and lifespan? How do I look better? How do I feel better? How do I get more energy? You can summarize the whole thing into one sentence: improve energy production in your body from the chip called mitochondria. So can H help? This is what I've been saying. So if you ask me, I will tell you H is directly beneficial in a lot of conditions, indirectly beneficial in many other conditions. If it is not something that you are not going to improve, like someone asked me about fibroid, I will tell my patients, H will not help to shrink the fibroid, but it will help you to control the fibroid from growing bigger If your health really improves, maybe it will reduce in size. But I won't promise the patient that fibroid will be gone with age. But will it help the health of the patient? Yes, of course. So I want you from today, I want you to address age from energy point of view, on top of what you have all this time known, immune booster, detoxification agent, and antioxidant. Yeah, because all this is still energy dependent. And we have just made it better with tumacin and vitamin D3. You can't get a better formula than this.
Thank you, Doctor. We have a few more questions, Doctor. Stella Kirenga in Uganda is asking, is it advisable to give Edg3 plus to a patient diagnosed with Ebola virus?
First of all, if I can prevent somebody from getting Ebola, I'll be very happy. And that's what you should be doing. Especially now, please tell the patients the only way you can fight Ebola is by increasing the immune system, improving the immune system. And please advise to take vitamin C also. Most of these patients can survive, can beat the Ebola virus. And those who are not sick may not get sick. And this is an opportunity for you to educate these people, the public, on why immune system health is so important, why energy is so important to prevent and treat diseases.
Thank you, Doctor. One more question. How can Edg3 Plus help a patient with sinus? He has taken many things without results.
You will not get results. No amount of surgery, no amount of drugs will help sinus patients. I can give it to you in writing. No help will come. No permanent help. Let me put it this way. The reason is, again, you are not addressing the underlying cause. So what is the underlying cause of sinus? Number one, allergy to dairy products, worsened by sugar. Number two, more than 80% of the sinus patients have fungal problem. So you have to treat the fungus, but I can't go through the fungus treatment here. Just go and explore. If you don't sort this out and improve the immune system, you cannot resolve the sinus. It will keep coming back. And the more antibiotics you take, the more fungus you'll grow, the worse becomes the sinus.
Doctor, one more question. Can Edg3 Plus help damage knee bone?
The difference between injections into the knee joint for arthritis patients and age is this. Glutathione helps to regenerate. That means your cartilage has the possibility of healing itself. Your
Edg+ is not just for those looking to heal their bodies.
And the best thing is it reduces inflammation. Because if you keep the inflammation going on, there is no healing. So it helps to improve the healing of the tissues and also reduce the inflammation. So it is very useful, but please avoid gluten. Okay.
Thank you, Doctor. The last question from Saleh Kirki. He says, when someone forgot to take Edg3 Plus before breakfast, can he take it after breakfast or he has to wait till tomorrow?
No, you can take it at any time. With food, empty stomach, you can take it. And why we say in the morning is because daytime, it's not that night you don't need the energy. You need energy at night for repair and regeneration or rejuvenation. Daytime, you need the energy for all the activities that you want to do. So you take it in the morning. But if you can't take it in the morning, you missed it, you want to take it at night, please go ahead and take. The only difference is some patients, when you have increased energy, they'll find it difficult to sleep. You have to try it out. This is the reason why we say, so you want to take it after breakfast, please go ahead.
Okay, Doctor, last question. This is the final question. For how long should one take Edg3 Plus? Can it be taken as long as one can?
I love this question. I was just waiting for somebody to ask me this question. You know what my answer is? It's always a very sarcastic answer. It depends on how long you want to live. You want to live only today, you take only today. Tomorrow, please don't take. If you want to live for 10 years, take for 10 years. If you want to improve your health for 20 years, take for 20 years. Because glutathione is the master molecule that was evolutionarily created from the beginning of creation. The first molecule that went into creation was this antioxidant that reduced the free radicals so that the cells could survive. This is how your evolution came about. So this master molecule cannot make mistakes in your body. And we are becoming chronically deficient because of your diet, because of lack of sun exposure, because of heavy metals, because of toxins, because of herbicides, pesticides, cosmetics, chronic inflammation. A lot of reason you become deficient, and aging is a big factor. So do you have to take? Please take. The older you are, the faster you will see the benefits. And so if nature has put this as the first survival molecule in the body, it cannot make mistakes. And to increase the glutathione levels, you cannot efficiently do it with glutathione as a supplement. You have to take the amino acids. And that's what is in H+. So it goes into your cell and it keeps it there, and the cells have the intelligence to use it as it is necessary, whenever it wants. Yeah.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you so much.
If you all are coming in June, so if you're there in June in Penang, Malaysia, then we'll meet there. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Take charge of your health with the new Edg3. It comes in an easy-to-use sachet and sweet passion fruit flavor. Your body will thank you.